It might sound like a scene from a film, a piece of esoteric folklore, but I promise you, what I'm about to share is as real as the ground beneath your feet. This is not about superstition. It is about a subtle, often ignored layer of reality that impacts your daily life, your well-being, and your destiny. We are energetic beings living in an energetic universe, and the spaces we inhabit are not just brick and mortar. They are living, breathing extensions of ourselves, imbued with memory and vibration. Before we dive into the heart of this ancient practice, I need you to be brutally honest with yourself, and if you feel called, share it in the comments. Have you noticed a subtle, yet undeniable shift in your home's energy lately? I'm not talking about a change in decor or a new scent in the air. I'm referring to that heavy, draining sensation that seems to permeate the very atmosphere. A feeling as if something invisible is quietly pulling you under, sapping your vitality when you're not looking. Don't ignore it. That feeling is not a figment of your imagination. It is your innate sensitivity, your spiritual immune system sending you a distress signal. Because that feeling, it's a signal as primal as thirst or hunger. If you dismiss it, if you write it off as stress or a bad week, you could be allowing something invisible, yet present and active every single day, to slowly, insidiously drain your strength, your inner peace, your creativity, and even your financial stability, without you ever consciously realizing the source of the leak. You keep trying to fill the bucket, not noticing the crack at the bottom. Do you wake up with your body stiff and tense, as if you've been carrying weights in your sleep, even after a day of rest and relaxation? Does your home still feel heavy, cloaked in an intangible gloom, no matter how thoroughly you clean, organize, and declutter every corner? Does it feel as if some unseen force is constantly applying a gentle but persistent pressure on your shoulders, holding you back from joy, from progress, from simply breathing freely? Please, hear me when I say this. This isn't in your head. This is not a sign of weakness or an overactive imagination. What you are experiencing is a real phenomenon, recognized by ancient wisdom traditions and now being explored by modern science. It is the physics of the subtle world making itself known in your life. Here's a truth rarely spoken in our fast-paced material world. Your body is a sophisticated receiver and recorder of energy. It carries energetic imprints, like psychic fingerprints, from every environment you enter, every conversation you have, every person you brush past. Think of yourself as a sponge, constantly absorbing the emotional and psychic residue of your surroundings. And much of this energy, surprisingly, is absorbed through the soles of your feet, your primary physical connection to the earth. This includes what you can't see with your physical eyes: accumulated stress, ambient tension, and the emotional residue of past events that slowly seep into your personal space, creating a fog that clouds your clarity and weighs down your spirit. But there is a powerful, elegant way to break this cycle. There exists a simple, ancient ritual, practiced for millennia across disparate cultures, that can restore what you've been missing: a sense of lightness, mental clarity, profound inner peace, and even the opening for unexpected opportunities and synchronicities. It is not complicated. It begins with just 3 humble elements: water, salt, and a nearly forgotten gesture of intentional cleansing. A word of caution, though, born from seeing so many well-intentioned people miss the mark. Most people perform this ritual incorrectly. They go through the motions without understanding the mechanics of the unseen. They treat it as a superstition rather than a science of the spirit. That's why they never see the profound results that are possible. They are trying to light a candle without striking the match. In the next few minutes, I will guide you through the right way to do it, I will demystify the process. There are no special tools to buy, no hidden secrets reserved for a chosen few. Just pure, focused awareness and a willingness to engage with the deeper currents of your own existence. And the most beautiful part? You can feel the shift begin by the end of the very same day. This is not a promise of a distant future miracle. It is an invitation to immediate, tangible transformation. I urge you, stay with me until the very end. Every piece of this puzzle is crucial. Skipping a single part, especially the final steps I will share later, could leave you stuck in that draining, invisible loop for a very long time, continually wondering why you can't seem to get ahead, why peace feels so elusive. Recognizing the invisible intruder. If you feel something in your home is constantly sapping your energy, it might not be ordinary fatigue. Let's go deeper. Have you experienced those peculiar mornings where you wake up already exhausted, your body leaden, as though you've been running a marathon all night from something you can't name, a shadow in a dream you can't recall? The sunlight streams through your window, painting patterns on the floor, but it brings no warmth to your soul. Everything looks normal. The furniture is in place, the clock is ticking, yet something feels deeply, fundamentally off. A quiet unease thrums in the background, a dissonant chord in the symphony of your home, as if an unseen balance has been disrupted. Maybe it has. Perhaps the equilibrium of your personal sanctuary has been compromised. Let's identify the signs, the symptoms of a space saturated with heavy energy. It manifests in consistent, puzzling patterns. Franklin, and the very air in your home feels thick, dense, and difficult to breathe, even in perfect silence. West arguments and conflicts spark from nowhere, over trivial matters, and quickly escalate as if fueled by an external force. When electronics behave erratically, lights flicker, devices glitch or break down more frequently than seems reasonable. When bills pile up with a relentless rhythm, and money seems to slip through your fingers no matter how carefully you budget. In vague, migrating ways, but doctors can find no medical cause, leaving you with a label of stress or unknown etiology. These are not mere coincidences. They are signs. Your home, and by extension you, may be saturated with what we can call heavy energy. This is not a judgment. It is a diagnosis of the energetic environment. This heavy energy has no scent, yet it smothers joy. It has no color, yet it clouds your mind with pessimistic thoughts. It makes no sound, yet it disrupts the harmony of relationships and endeavors. Once it settles in, it behaves like a spiritual virus, silent, stubborn, and invisible, replicating in the unseen corners of your life. Where does it come from? Its origins are twofold. Sometimes it is carried through your front door, an unseen passenger on the energy field of a visitor, someone filled with anger, envy, fear, or even their own unresolved pain. They may not intend any harm, but they leave a trace behind, like muddy footprints on a clean carpet. Other times, and perhaps more commonly, it is born within your own walls. It is generated in moments of unresolved tension, heated arguments, unspoken hurts, or lingering resentment. When something breaks emotionally within the family unit, but nobody dares to speak about it, that fractured energy doesn't just vanish. It lingers. It embeds itself in the fabric of your home, in the air you breathe, in the fibers of the couch where you relax, in the bed where you seek rest, in the kitchen where you prepare nourishment. It becomes a part of the atmosphere. And you, as a sensitive being, can feel it. You are not crazy. You are perceptive. You may have tried everything to clear it. You've cleaned intensely from top to bottom, burned sage or Palo Santo, opened all the windows to let in a breeze, taken long steaming showers to wash the day away. And for a few minutes it works. The heaviness lifts. But then, almost imperceptibly, It seeps back in. The irritation returns. The insomnia creeps back. The feeling of being stuck, of spinning your wheels, settles over you once more. It's like mopping the floor with a tap still running. Nothing seems to provide a lasting solution. Here's the core reason why. You can't clean what's dirty if you don't know where the dirt is coming from. You can't fix a leak if you don't know the location of the pipe. Most people repeat these surface-level rituals without addressing the true source and the primary entry point of the heavy energy weighing them down. They are treating the symptom, not the cause. That's why they remain trapped in a cycle of temporary relief, always trying, but never truly moving forward, always ending up right back where they started. I want you to reflect on this. Tell me in the comments, has your home lost its warmth, its soul? Did it once feel lighter, more alive, a true sanctuary where you could recharge and feel safe? What you're about to learn may finally show you not only why this shift occurred, but more importantly, how to restore it to its former state of harmony. The body's energetic alarm system. There is an ancient method to detect this kind of invasive energy, and it doesn't require any special equipment. It's a physical signal, an alarm system your own body activates when it's absorbing more than it can healthily process and hold. And this signal manifests most clearly, most tangibly, in your feet. Yes, your feet. Think of them not just as appendages for locomotion, but as the finely tuned senses of your spirit, the roots of your personal energy tree. In many spiritual and healing traditions, from reflexology to ancient Eastern medicine, the feet are seen as a microcosm of the entire body and a primary conduit for energy exchange with the earth. They are the entry points for your home's energy, the ground wire for your entire system. When you are carrying energetic weight that isn't yours, the stress of the office, the anger from a confrontation, the grief of a public tragedy you witnessed, your feet often feel it first. It's your body's primal way of saying, "We are overloaded. We are carrying a burden that does not belong to us." Soon I will explain precisely why the sacred union of salt and water has been used for millennia as the most potent tool for spiritual release and energetic purification. I will unveil what truly happens on a vibrational level when this practice is done correctly. But there is one essential, non-negotiable detail that most people overlook, and without it, the ritual is rendered powerless, like a key without the correct teeth to turn the lock. The power is not just in the action, but in the awareness behind it. The sacred alliance, water and salt. Water listens, salt responds. Together, in a sacred alliance, they cleanse what the eyes cannot see, resetting the vibrational field around you. Remember that profound sense of renewal you feel after a day spent at the ocean, walking along the shore with the waves washing over your feet. It's as if a weight you didn't even know you were carrying has been lifted, leaving you feeling lighter, clearer, and more optimistic. That's no coincidence. It is a direct, experiential example of this principle in action. At this very point, science and spirituality align, both acknowledging the profound power inherent in salt and water. Let's begin with water. Modern science, through the pioneering work of researchers like Dr. Masaru Emoto, has given us a glimpse into the responsive nature of water. His studies, while debated, provide a powerful metaphor. He demonstrated that the crystalline structure of frozen water changes dramatically based on the energy it is exposed to. Water exposed to words of anger and hatred formed chaotic, fragmented, and ugly structures. In contrast, water exposed to words and feelings of love and gratitude formed beautiful, complex, and symmetrical hexagonal crystals. Water, it appears, is a liquid memory bank. It carries vibration, frequency, and information. It is a recorder of its environment. Now, Take a moment to consider your own body. It is composed of over 70% water. Every word you hear, every thought you think, every emotion you hold on to, all of it vibrates inside you, creating a symphony or a cacophony within your very cells. The water within you records everything. It holds the memory of every trauma, every joy, every fear, and every hope. You are, quite literally, a walking, talking body of water. And salt? If water is the memory, salt is the conductor and the purifier. Its role is just as crucial. From the temples of ancient Egypt to the sweat lodges of Native American traditions, from the villages of Africa to the serene monasteries of Tibetan Buddhists, salt was once valued more highly than gold. This was not merely for its ability to flavor food or preserve it for long winters. It was prized for its metaphysical power to purify, to create sacred boundaries, and to repel what does not belong. Salt breaks dense energy patterns. It cuts through psychic static and emotional entanglement. It cleanses by its very nature. On a molecular level, salt creates an ionic charge. This is why it's so effective at preservation. It creates an environment where decay-causing bacteria cannot thrive. Energetically, it does the same. It creates an environment where decaying or heavy energies struggle to exist. It is a natural shield, a barrier against heavy, unseen energies, creating a sacred and protected space. So, when you consciously blend water and salt, you are not just making salt water for a recipe. You are creating a powerful, synergistic electromagnetic field. You are combining the receptive, memory-holding capacity of water with the active, purifying, structure-breaking power of salt. This combination clears not only physical impurities, but more importantly, resets your foundational energetic balance. It is a Control-Alt-Delete for your spiritual hard drive. Pause for a moment and reflect. Have you ever used salt water with intention before? To clean your home? To soak in a bath, or as part of a personal ritual? Did it work for you? Or have you never truly tried, perhaps dismissing it as an old wives' tale? Understanding your starting point is powerful. Here is the critical point where most well-meaning people go wrong. They simply toss salt into water, give it a quick stir, and think that's it. They believe the power is in the physical mixture alone. But without conscious, focused intention, it is just salty water. The true transformative secret lies in the how, in the quality of your silence, the depth of your awareness, the sacredness of your gesture, and the precision of your timing. It is the marriage of the physical substance with your conscious will that elevates a simple act into a profound event of personal healing and liberation. This wisdom is ancient, passed down not through textbooks, but through an oral lineage of feeling and knowing. For generations, it was quietly shared among wise women, medicine men, healers, and grandmothers, people who may not have had formal degrees, but possessed a deep, intuitive knowing, a felt sense when something was off in the air. They were the original energy workers. Today, frontier sciences like quantum physics and epigenetics are beginning to confirm what these elders always knew, that our bodies are fields of vibrating energy, that our physical spaces hold memory and influence our biology, and that there are simple, potent ways to reset it all and reclaim our sovereign state. In just a moment, I will share a hidden truth about salt, a cultural myth that has been turned on its head, the missing key that transforms the act of cleansing into a true state of liberation. Reclaiming the truth, salt as protector, not punisher. You've heard it since childhood, perhaps seen it in movies. Spilling salt brings bad luck. The image of someone hastily throwing a pinch of salt over their left shoulder to ward off the devil is etched into our cultural consciousness. But have you ever stopped to wonder why? What is the logical connection between a white crystal and misfortune? For years, maybe your whole life, you've been told that tossing salt especially on the floor, somehow attracts negativity. But what if that was a grand misunderstanding, or even a deliberate distortion by those who sought to disconnect people from their own personal power? Let me be unequivocal. Salt does not attract bad energy. It repels it. It breaks it apart. That is precisely why it has been feared, dismissed, and relegated to the realm of superstition throughout much of modern history. The true, formidable power of salt is not merely culinary. It is a form of spiritual protection and energetic hygiene. Consider the historical and cross-cultural evidence. In ancient Greece, warriors returning from battle would ritually wash their hands and feet in salt water before stepping back into their homes. This was not a mere cleaning. It was a deliberate act to sever the clinging energies of the battlefield, the fear, rage, and death, so they would not pollute the sanctity of the home. In Egypt, priests purified temples and ceremonial spaces with coarse salt before any sacred rites, ensuring the environment was a clear vessel for divine communication. Across West Africa, people placed small bowls of salt in the corners of their rooms and at entryways to create a protective grid, believed to keep illness, misfortune, and negative spirits at bay. Japan, to this very day, it is common practice for sumo wrestlers to purify the ring with salt before a match, and for restaurant owners to sprinkle salt at their entrance each morning to ward off bad energy and ensure a prosperous day of welcoming customers. If salt were truly a symbol or magnet for bad luck, why would so many diverse and enduring cultures across time and space consistently use it as a spiritual shield? The answer is self-evident. Because salt disrupts what doesn't belong. It cuts through stagnant, dense energy. It neutralizes it. It creates a vibrational, no-fly zone for lower frequencies. And here's the part that is never explained in the superstitious tale. When you accidentally spill salt, you are not summoning bad luck. On the contrary, you are inadvertently activating a powerful field of energetic separation. The universe, in its infinite intelligence, is using the accident to get your attention. It is a whisper, a nudge. Pay attention. Something here needs to be released. There is an energy that needs to be cut. The spill is not the problem, it is the alarm. If you've always believed salt brings misfortune, I want you to tell me in the comments, did that belief ever truly resonate with you on a deep level? Did it make logical sense? Or did you always have a gut feeling, an intuition, that there was more to the story, that this common knowledge felt somehow off? Let's reclaim the truth together. Let's break that disempowering myth. The distortion of this knowledge was likely not an accident. Salt was so spiritually potent, so accessible to the common person for their protection, that it was in the interest of controlling institutions to discredit it, to turn it into a symbol of fear. When you stop engaging with salt energetically, when you fear it instead of wielding it, you leave yourself and your home energetically unprotected and vulnerable. You leave your energetic field exposed. And that is when true difficulty, the bad luck, finds its way in. The protection was removed, not the substance itself that caused the harm. But this cycle can be completely reversed. You can restore salt to its rightful, sacred role as a guardian and a purifier. And this reclamation begins quite literally at your foundation, with your feet. The ritual of grounded release. Your feet are your first and most constant contact with the ground. They are your roots. And the ground itself is not inert. It carries the echoes of everything that has ever been walked upon, felt, and forgotten. The stresses of the city pavement, the tension of a workplace, the residual emotions of public spaces. When you intentionally wash your feet with consciously prepared salt water, you are performing a powerful act of spiritual hygiene. You are sending a clear, declarative message to the universe. What isn't mine, may it leave. What holds me back, may it dissolve. What weighs me down, may it flow away with this water, back to the earth to be neutralized. But be mindful. There is one common critical mistake that causes people to absorb more energy than they release, effectively making the problem worse. It involves the state of mind and the direction of energy flow. In the next few moments, I will guide you through the correct, step-by-step practice, including everything you need to prepare beforehand. There is a forgotten detail regarding the final closing of the ritual that changes everything. This isn't just about washing your feet. It's about opening an invisible door, a threshold of transformation that only you can consciously choose to step through. The preparation. Setting the stage for transformation. Before you begin, you must internalize this foundational principle. This ritual is not a chore to be rushed. It is a moment of deep, sacred presence. It is a conscious connection with the unseen dimensions of your own being and your environment. If you approach it with the same distracted mindset as washing a dish or checking an email, it will not work. The magic is not in the salt and water alone. It is in the focused, loving energy behind your intention that you imbue into them. You are the activator. Here is your guide to preparation. 1. Prepare your space. Choose a quiet, undisturbed time. Evening is ideal, as the world is winding down and the veil between day and night is thin. This is a time of natural release. 2. Eliminate distractions. Silence your phone. Turn off the television. If you live with others, choose a time when you can be truly alone. This is a sacred contract between you and the universe. 3. Silky the ambiance. Dim the lights. You might light a single candle to represent the light of your consciousness. This isn't about aesthetics. It's about signaling to your subconscious that this time is different, set apart from the mundane. 4. Gather your tools. A clean bowl or basin, reserved if possible only for this kind of work. It should feel sacred, not utilitarian. Premiership. Pure water, enough to comfortably cover your feet up to the ankles. Tablespoons of coarse sea salt or Himalayan salt. The coarse, unprocessed nature of the salt is important, as it holds a more potent, earth-connected vibration than highly refined table salt. The ritual itself, a step-by-step guide. Now, we begin. Move slowly. Be present with every gesture. 1. Thematic consecration of the water. Pour the warm water into your bowl. Hold the salt in your hands for a moment. Feel its crystalline structure. Now, add the 2 tablespoons of salt to the water. 2. The act of intention. Using your right hand, traditionally seen as the hand of giving and active power, begin to stir the water. Stir in a clockwise direction. Clockwise motion, in many traditions, is associated with drawing energy in, building, and creating a cohesive field. As you stir, slowly and with deep purpose, direct your thoughts. Silently, but firmly, name what you wish to release. Speak to the water and salt. I release fatigue. I release fear. I release sadness. I release financial struggle. I release this pain in my shoulder. I release the memory of that argument. Be specific. Let the salt know what it is you are asking it to carry away. This is the step that transforms salty water into a programmed, energetic solvent. 3. Immersion. Sit comfortably. Place your feet gently into the water. As you do, close your eyes. Take 3 deep, slow, cleansing breaths. Inhale peace. Exhale tension. Inhale light. Exhale heaviness. 4. Throw release. This is the period of passive reception. Keep your feet submerged for 7 minutes. Do not speak. Do not check your phone. Do not read. Simply be. Feel the sensation of the water on your skin. Be the observer of your own inner state. You may feel physical sensations, a slight dizziness, a chill down your spine, a sudden involuntary yawn. These are not signs of something wrong. They are confirmations that your body is opening up. Your energetic field is beginning to release and repattern. The water may grow warmer around your feet as energy moves. You might see tiny bubbles forming around your ankles. This is normal. Sometimes you may hear faint pops or cracks in the room around you. Do not be alarmed. This is also a normal sign of energy shifting and releasing in the environment. 5. Arience. After 7 minutes, mindfully remove your feet from the water. Do not use a towel. Allow them to air dry naturally. This is a crucial point of integration. What has left you in that water should not be reabsorbed through a fabric that will then stay in your home. 6. Disposal. Take the bowl of water. Do not look at it with judgment. With gratitude for its service, pour the water directly down the drain. Ideally, take it outside your home and pour it onto the earth or down an outdoor drain. Do not reuse this water for any purpose. Do not pour it on your plants, as it now carries the energy of what you have released. Its work is complete. Let it go completely, symbolically carrying those energies away from your space. Now, pause. As you were reading these instructions, could you visualize the ritual in your mind's eye? Could you feel a subtle stirring within your own body, a sense of anticipation or recognition? This is because the practice begins to shift your state, even in the planning and visualization stage. You are already setting the intention, and energy follows thought. But here's something most people are never told: the linchpin that determines lasting change. If you do not close the ritual properly, the cleared space you have created may not hold. The vacuum left behind can be rapidly filled again by the same or similar heavy vibrations from your environment or your own habitual patterns. The cleansing is only half the battle. Next, I will show you exactly what to do after the bath to seal in the new, lighter energy and activate a sustainable field of spiritual protection around you. It involves 3 declarative words you must speak aloud, and a final, secret gesture that very few practice. This final step is what separates a temporary respite from a lasting transformation. The closing, sealing your new frequency. After the bath, it's not the floor that's changed, it's you. You walk differently because your fundamental vibration has been altered. You have shed a layer of energetic weight. You might be tempted to think all of this is purely symbolic, a psychological trick, but it is far more. You have actively engaged with your deepest energetic layer, the blueprint that influences everything in your physical reality. The quality of your sleep, your physical health, your mental peace, and even the flow of abundance and opportunities into your life. That moment your feet met the programmed salt water was more than a physical soaking. It was a conscious uncoupling from old, stagnant energies, worries that aren't yours, inherited familial fears, emotional memories from past traumas that have been lodged in your cellular memory without your conscious knowledge. You may have felt lightheaded during the visualization, a tingling in your feet, or simply a wave of profound quiet. Some people even find themselves weeping during or after the actual ritual, not from sadness, but from a profound release, not knowing why. That's your body and spirit responding to the powerful movement of energy. It is a catharsis. You have successfully cleansed, but in doing so, you have also opened a channel. You have created a clean, clear space within your field. Now, you must consciously seal that opening and claim this new, liberated state as your own. You must fill the vacuum with your sovereign light. This is the most overlooked yet most critical part of any authentic energy practice: the conscious closing. Clearing heavy energy is only half the work, the subtractive half. Emptiness, in the energetic world, naturally seeks to be filled. It is a law. If you do not fill it with your own conscious awareness and a higher vibration, life will automatically fill it for you with whatever energy is most dominant or readily available in your environment or your own subconscious patterns. It's like weeding a garden but not planting new seeds. The weeds will simply return. That's why this final step is as vital, if not more so, than the ritual itself. Here's what to do. Once your feet are completely dry, sit quietly again in your sacred space. Gently place your hands over your feet, right hand on right foot, left on left, as if you are blessing them, honoring them for their service as your ground and your guides. Close your eyes. Take another deep, centering breath. Notice what feels different. Is the air in the room lighter? Does your body feel less dense? Is your mind quieter? Acknowledge the shift. Then, with your hands still on your feet, speak these 3 sentences aloud. Do not whisper them. Do not mumble them. Say them with presence, authority, and deep, heartfelt conviction. I am released. I am cleansed. I am ready. Say them as if you are issuing a decree to the universe. Even if you are alone, the universe is listening intently, and so is every cell in your body, every molecule of water within you. These are not just words, they are commands. These words carry a specific vibrational code. They send an unambiguous signal to your entire energy field that the cycle of release is now complete. The old weight has been lifted and is gone, and a new, higher frequency of freedom and possibility is now taking root as your permanent state. You will feel the difference almost immediately. The house often grows profoundly still, as if holding its breath in reverence. The light may seem softer, more golden, even if you didn't change a thing. Your mind quietens, the internal chatter subsiding. That night, sleep often comes more easily and is more restorative. Some people experience even deeper shifts in the following days. Vivid or lucid dreams that offer guidance. A tangible sense of lightness and optimism upon waking. Intuitive hits and synchronicities that guide them throughout the day. Others notice external, tangible changes. An unexpected call that brings good news. A new opportunity arising from an unexpected source. A solution to a long-standing problem, appearing as if from nowhere. This isn't magic in the fairy tale sense. It is the natural consequence of energy and flow. When you remove the blockages in your own field, the natural current of life, abundance, and well-being can flow to you unimpeded. If you felt something shift, stir, or release simply from reading this detailed guide, I invite you to share it in the comments. Your personal story, your testimony, could be the very sign, the final nudge of confirmation, that someone else reading this needs to take this step for themselves. Integration and ongoing practice. Remember, this ritual is potent. It is a deep reset. It is not for daily use, as that would be like constantly rebooting a computer without letting it run its programs. Practice it when you feel the weight building up, after a particularly difficult season at work, following a heated argument at home, during a string of bad luck, or simply when that familiar, vague feeling of something being off returns and you can't explain why. The most supportive days to perform this ritual are Monday, for new beginnings, Thursday, for expansion and abundance, or Sunday evenings, for spiritual peace and protection. Times of natural energetic transition in the weekly cycle. One more essential thing. Perform the entire ritual, from preparation to closing, in a container of silence. And afterward, hold that silence within you for a while. Don't rush to tell people about it. Don't immediately post about it on social media. Silence is a powerful insulator and a sealant for the transformation. It allows the new energy to integrate deeply into your field without being diluted by outside opinions or energies. Yet even after all this, there is a final, ongoing practice, one that determines whether this renewed, lighter energy remains and grows, or slowly drains away over the next few days as you re-engage with the world.